Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video about silver spot price. What is too high? What are you guys willing to pay? And all that goes around that subject because it is an important question. Some people have budgets. Some people won't go any higher than set prices, and this is how they've always stacked when it comes to buying and selling, which can be smart to budget and set limitations because impulse buying and panic selling is definitely a real thing. When the emotional attachments involved, you can make some very very bad or very risky decisions. So to protect that, you can set prices that you won't go above or below. But today I want to talk about this from a different perspective because $20 silver is definitely a real thing that's going to be happening again soon. But a lot of people do see silver or $20 silver as just, too expensive for them. And why is this? That some people $20 silver is pricey and some people $20 silver is cheap. Well, it depends when they got in the market. Some people are desensitized to certain prices. For me, take me for example. Now I got into silver 6, 7 years ago when silver was, 20 in 22, $23 range. So when I see $15 silver, it's extremely cheap, but I'm used to buying silver paying $21 an ounce. So, take that perspective and then flip it from someone who got into silver recently when silver's been $15 an ounce and they're always used to buying silver at $15 range and then it goes up to $22. They're going to look at that $22 price and say, whoa, that's so high, because they're desensitized to that $15 price. So you can see how depending when people got into the market can drastically change their perspective in their opinion on whether the price is high or low. So it all is speculative. And that really, speculation is irrelevant when it comes to precious metals. Cryptocurrency speculation is everything because it runs off of speculation. Bitcoin runs off of how many dollars are being pumped into it and how many dollars are going out. So, market scares, panic, stuff like that highly influences its price. But silver has real value in the world, in technology, etc. So the speculation part of it doesn't have as much of a pull or a drag on its price. And that's also why silver is a much safer investment. But I'm curious to ask you guys, you guys as the silver stackers, what price are you comfortable paying and how high? I was going to title this video $30 Silver Too Pricey, but I wanted to make it more realistic for a soonish time frame, a near futuristic time frame. And I don't think silver is going to be hitting $30 in a couple months or anything. So I wanted to make it, more realistic, more relatable to what we're going to be dealing with in the near future. So $20 silver, are you willing to pay that price? And if you are, how much higher are you willing to go? Are you willing to go to $25? Are you willing to go to $30? Does it matter? And I want to ask you this question because I'm curious to see, what you think silver's retail price could be, or its natural, value in the world as an economic, good or an asset. But it's a little tricky of a question because even though you aren't willing to pay $50 for an ounce of silver doesn't mean you don't think that's its natural value or natural price. Same goes for me. Like, I definitely think silver could easily be a $200, metal, especially when we're comparing it to gold's price and where gold could be headed. But I'm not going to be paying 200 an ounce for an American Eagle. But that's also the answer to why we buy and stack silver right now, is because it's undervalued and because we can get lots of it for cheap. So I almost just answered my own question and explained a deeper reason to why a lot of people do invest, because it's undervalued, because you can get so many ounces of silver for cheap. And that also opposes to why we don't really invest into gold. And when people wonder why it's silver and not gold when gold's the royal metal, This is a prime example of why we do invest into this specific category. Now, obviously, there's many other factors that go into it, whether it's the gold to silver ratio, whether it's silver's highly beneficial properties in technology in the industrial world, but it does make sense. It's silver has a lot more potential to make potential profits in the future, at least to say the least, compared to gold. When I'm looking at the gold to silver ratio at 88 to 1, I'm still looking at silver can appreciate a lot higher or gold is going to depreciate a lot lower. So you can still see that the ratios can give some determination to where silver's price is headed, but there still are other influential factors. But I also want to talk about $20 silver on the other end. How what price are you willing, or how low are you willing to sell your silver? This is another question I want to ask because it's something you don't really think about. Let's say, and it also depends on what type of silver, which we can go into in this video as well. So first off, let's start off with American Eagles. Let's say you go to your local coin shop, and I want you guys to answer this in the comments below. You go to your local coin shop and you have to sell your silver. Say it's an emergency, and you go in there with the idea that you wanted 10 ounces of silver. You wanted to sell 10 ounces of silver, but you weren't going to take any less than spot price, but you had to, but you still wanted to, get some, you didn't want to just sell yourself short. What is that price for you? Would you sell at $15, or would you not sell any less than $17? Or does it depend on spot price, or does it depend on how bad the emergency is? That's a little this is that gray area in these questions, because obviously there are other factors that definitely play in, like how much spot price is. Do you need the money right then? How much extra silver do you have that you can give some leeway to kind of sell a couple ounces short? So it really does depend, but just a general question, or general answer. No, are you willing to sell at $17, or are you holding on to your silver and never selling it under 20 or 30 when after 10, 20 years, because you're not looking to sell anytime soon? I'm curious, because when you're looking at selling silver, buying silver, and putting these numbers in your head, what it's doing is preparing yourself to have a realistic expectation, a realistic output on what's going to be happening and how you're going to handle these situations. If you're not prepared, if you're not thinking about it, then you're setting yourself up to be caught off guard. So we can talk about this realistically right now and talk about how high you're willing to pay when that time comes, when silver does start skyrocketing, if it ever does, or when it does, or are you going to be caught off guard and say, whoa, should I be buying silver right now? $30, should I pay that much for an ounce? And that stuff, that preparedness, that awareness, that insight is definitely going to give you a little more time to think about it and understand which direction you want to go. So being prepared is definitely key. But now there's also the side of it that gets a little tricky, which comes into high premium or semi-numismatic silver or coins or whatever. Because these coins, they obviously have the metal content, but there is some collector value, so they would be sold for well, let's say like $5-6 on top of spot price. So when it comes to, let's say silver started appreciating to $30, your pandas might not appreciate see, this is the thing. So when spot price is stable and it's in a bear market, your semi-numismatic coins will appreciate on top of spot price over the years. If I buy a 2019 Panda right now, in 5 years that coin will probably be worth around $30, $40, $50. And that's protecting me from spot price. If silver, let's say silver $17 for the next 10 years, at least if I have some pandas, those will be still appreciating, even if my bullion isn't. But on the other hand, it's almost reversed if the opposite happens. Let's say silver spot price starts rising, then your pandas and other coins would most likely be sold for that spot price, not also appreciating on top with spot price. So that's why it's good to diversify into both, because no matter what happens, if you're diversifying, you're in a win-win situation. If spot price stays low, at least your pandas are rising. If you do have pandas and bullion, even if spot price does rise, at least you're still having a profitable stack from the spot price rising with all your bullion coins. So diversification really is important. But let's say that, in 10, 20 years from now, you are ready to sell some of your silver. You want to sell a portion of it. What is that price for you? And also, what price are you throwing in the towel when it comes to buying when it gets too high? These are real questions I want to ask you guys, and I want you guys to think about them for a while. Really dig deep and try to think about every situation, every scenario, because it's definitely something you want to think about. You don't want to be caught off guard, and I definitely think that most people should be aware of this stuff. For me, I would say I probably wouldn't sell anything less than $16, and I wouldn't pay anything more than $25 an ounce for standard bullion. When it comes to other coins, I definitely would, and I have, and I will keep doing that. But when it comes to bullion, I think I'll throw in the towel there. I obviously think silver's natural price is a lot higher than that, but this is where I'm going to be buying most of my, this is the price range I'll be buying most of my silver in, lots of it to lower my dollar per cost average, get as much as I can, build a foundation, and then hold on to it as it appreciates up into that 30, 40, $50 range over the next 20, 30 years. And that's my game plan, but I'm curious to hear yours. Obviously, this is my personal preference, doesn't mean it has to be yours. Everyone has different buying time frames, different selling time frames, different situations. So it really is an individual plan. I'm just curious to hear yours, just to bring some perspective, have you guys kind of chat it out. Maybe you guys can talk to each other, learn a thing or two. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe. If you are new, I post daily videos in the world of precious metals, so tune in, check out my other videos I've been posting lately too. I've been posting lots of good videos. I know you guys will enjoy them. So thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I will see you guys soon. Peace.